And up now, he is the former chairman of the California Republican Party.
Right, and he's running for U.S. Senate. Here to make some changes in our state government and federal government is Tom Del Beccaro. And
I like how she did that, right?
Yeah.
Good introduction right there.
Yeah. How are you today? Thanks for having me in.
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for being on. So you had been the vice chair for...
Yeah, I served in a variety of volunteer roles over the years, including a county chair where I live up in Northern California, vice chairman, state party chairman. I've been a small business attorney now for 28 years, believe it or not. I write about economic policy for Forbes and foreign policy for some other magazines. And I have 2 books out, one on why we're so divided as Americans today. It's called The Divided Era, and the reason why I'm running for U.S. Senate is to help with the economy and lessen some of that division.
So are you a never-Trumper? Or?
No, not at all. I will certainly support the candidate. I am a Republican. Hillary would like to raise taxes $1 trillion. That would tank the economy. My biggest issue for years has been tax reform. That's what I write about. And I have my own tax reform proposal. I'm the only U.S. Senate candidate in America with his own flat tax proposal. So certainly that's a better direction because that's going to produce more jobs for the vast majority of Americans than raising taxes.
So as an attorney with small business, what do you see as one of the biggest issues for small businesses?
I'm glad you asked that because today in America, we are actually, more businesses are failing than starting up. That's not sustainable. You need business startups. And for the average small business owner, the biggest hurdle is dealing with over the first year and a half, isn't just dealing with their customers, it's dealing with government regulations, it's dealing with taxes.
Increase the minimum wage.
In all of these things. And government is really their biggest hurdle. And I help them navigate some of that. I watch what happens on the tax. You know, here in California, they get taxed $800 before as they open their business. So it seems like grab first, ask questions later. And most people don't know that women start up small businesses twice as much as men, and that in California, Latino women are the leading demographic who start up businesses. We need more business startups, not less, and so my tax policies will make it easier to do that.
Now, if I may ask, if we could shift a little bit, what would your personal opinion be on the current presidential debates?
The president's The whole campaign has really been focused on the Republican side, fighting with each other. On the Democrat side, not as much. It's been a little bit more polite. But what's missing from both is someone with the vision of a Kennedy or a Reagan. And what they did was set national goals, and they invited Americans to be part of that process, whether it's sending a man to the moon or under Reagan, restoring national prestige. Both of them wanted tax reform and wanted Americans to bring the economy back. Too much of the focus of candidates today, including all the other Senate candidates that I'm facing, want to rely on government. We have enough government already. Now we need the private sector. And so I would like to see the presidential candidates focus on how Americans are going to restore prosperity instead of more government.
How can you see that happening within California? I mean, businesses are driving out in floods and droves, and
You're right.
How can we keep business in California then?
Just the other day, I think it was Jamba Juice announced that they were leaving. Burger King has left the country. Carl's Jr. has left the state. Toyota. Oil companies going to Texas. You need the right balance of regulations and taxes. If you price something too high, then customers are going to go to the store next to you where they have lower prices. In this example, Texas is really the store that has the lower prices. And so now the more high-tech startups are in Austin, Texas than in California.
Well, in healthcare too. They're moving out to, I think it's New Hampshire and to Texas as well.
Yeah, where they have very low, there's no income tax, personal income tax in Texas, Florida, Tennessee, even Washington State. So what you need to do is have the right balance where you keep enough jobs here and you have the right balance of regulations so you protect the environment. And also one thing I talk about is if in fact you drive all manufacturing to China, they pollute worse than if you had kept it here. So you need that right balance.
You know, you just had a debate, right? Correct, in San Diego a couple nights ago, Tuesday.
We've had 2 debates in the last 2 weeks. The first one, the post-debate poll said I was the winner. This time around, they didn't want to do a post-debate poll because I think it would have looked bad. I think the media was sort of protecting the Kamala Harris, who they perceived to be the leader. But we did very well.
And is there another that we should follow coming up?
That is the last of the debates. Very sadly, there may be some in the fall. But that's only if I get in the top 2, and your listeners, it'll be great, your viewers, to know that there's only 2 that are going on under the current system. There's 35 people on the ballot. There's usually 2 columns. You can only mark 1 column, 1 person. And I hope they'll mark me, Dell Beccaro, and you can go to tomdell.com if you'd like to help.
Fantastic. So thank you so much for being on, and good luck on your campaign.
All right, thank you.
You mentioned your website, so people can go on and see a little bit more about some of your...
tomdell.com, and then hopefully this fall you'll have me back on because I'll be one of the top 2.
That would be
Thank
great.
you very much. I like
Tom,
that
thank you very
confidence.
much for being on.
Nice having you this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, up next, it's the Taste of Sunrise with Alexa Cuisine.
We love the taste of sunrise, don't
Hungry.
we?
And I know that your stomach was rumbling.
You could hear my stomach growling before. So we
So.
have Chef Alexandra Mata. She will come on and make scallops for us. So stay tuned.